Uh, we are here and in the house, everybody. I had to reboot. Whew. And then I remembered the message this morning. Remember to breathe. That's what we're talking about today. Remember to breathe. I had to do it. I got up and I'm plenty of time. And I'm like, turn on the computer. I come back. I'm like, it's black. What's going on? Turn on the computer. It's black. And I said, no, I'm not going to freak out. I just had to be patient. And now, here's what we're going to do. Ruby, I see you all. We're going to manifest a new computer because this will not do. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just slow. So, so when we are going through things today, remember to breathe. Why is that necessary? It is necessary, one, so you don't hit the ground in unconsciousness. But when you take a moment to breathe, you can assess the situation. This is what you can do. This morning was living proof of that for me. I got up and I thought, okay, everything's good to go because I always check it before I go to bed. And I get up this morning and it's not ready to go. And I'm like, I could have a meltdown or I could find a solution. So I messaged, hey, not. And that's what I did. And you guys are so beautifully patient. And this is why we remember to breathe on a daily basis. Oh, we are. We're breathing because we're here, clearly. But in times of trouble, right? When things aren't going exactly as you want them to go, you must breathe your way through that situation, which means you're going to have to remain calm. Why? Simply because if you don't remain calm, you cannot see your way through. You can't look at the situation in a state of panic and say, I don't know what to do. But when you're calm, you can say, all right, and here's the problem. Here's where I am now. Here's where I want to be. All right, let's get her done. I had to talk my computer through waking up today. You see, things are not impossible. It does work beautifully, right? So does life. But when we take that moment, take the moment, you must take the moment to remain calm. These are things that we have to live and we have to do. Not that we hear about it, but we do it. Because I tell you, there are many situations that we face. Many of them. But at the end of the day, if we do not take that time, this is why meditation, but that word has become so diluted, it has lost its meaning. If you take a moment every single day, every day, take a moment every single day. Well, Angela, why do these things happen? Why did it happen? Things will always happen, but we have the choice to either be parallel or to entangle with them. And when you spend time in a quiet place, when you spend time to just be, you will know exactly what to entangle with and what to remain parallel to. This is how it happens on a daily basis. Let's ponder this for a moment. Let's ponder it for a moment. How many times have we gone through our day and had a total meltdown about something? Because we didn't breathe. What? What do you mean I didn't breathe? I was breathing to have the meltdown. Of course you were. But to breathe in the heat of the moment is to have control of you, have control of the moment, instead of being controlled by the moment. All is well. How do you know that all is well? The law tells us that all is well. The law says, as within, so without. Every cause has its effect. This is how you know everything is taken care of. This is where you draw your strength from, not from I heard, but you draw your strength from I know. We draw our strength from I know. These are the things that we practice on a daily basis, because if you're not practicing, yes, how do you know what to do? If you're not practicing, how do you know what to implement? How do you know? We know because we practice and we interact with the law on a daily basis. And the more you interact with the law, the more you know it. And the more you know it, your concept of yourself changes. And right there is the key to every single thing. The one giving the command must know where it's giving the command from. What place are we giving it from? This is why we take that moment to breathe. This is why we take that moment to assess. It is necessary. Why is it necessary? Because it gives you a clear path ahead. It gives us a clear path. Without that clear path, well, we're in quite a pickle, aren't we? Always. You see, things present themselves over and over again until we deal with them. We say, oh, I can deal with this, I can manage this. And the situation presents itself again because this is where you're living, this is where you're coming from. Until such time that you say, I've had enough of that. And you change your concept of yourself to say, oh, I don't have to accept mediocrity. I accept that I am better than that. And that's what you do. And because now you are telling yourself what you are going to accept, now you are facing that direction. So now all those opportunities for you to accept things, because remember, you're the one with the gravitational pull mentally. Mentally, it is happening mentally. And the corresponding effect is simply the echo. You must first cast the sound before the echo can be returned. So the cause is that main thought. And to know what it is you are thinking and to know where you're coming from on a daily basis, we must take the time to breathe. Even if it is 2 minutes of practice, 2190. 2190. Today, this will be 34 days out of that 90. Memory serves me correctly. Our habit has been solidified because we took the 21 days of consistency to do it. We're into making it our lifestyle now. You see, this is what we get to do. We get to do it all the time. We get to make that change. Oh, sure, it might look challenging. Oh, but Angela, you don't know what you're talking about. You haven't lived these things. Oh. Every man according to his own merit. What does that mean? As within, so without. So, no, I cannot live your experience and you cannot live mine. For the simple fact that I am me and you are you. We have our perceptions on the inside that sculpt and shape the outside. But because we now know that, we won't judge each other to say, well, she's never done it. Oh, he's never done it. What do they know? But we simply say, ah, they're living according to their own. That's right. As within me is what I will experience on the outside. This is why we take that time. Because it can become overwhelming if we do not. Hmm? It can become overwhelming if we do not take the time to breathe. Why can it become overwhelming? It becomes overwhelming because we don't know what to do. Remember, we're going on autopilot. We go on autopilot. Yes, our old habits or the new ones that we put in there. Taking stock of assessing. If you don't make that habit, how will you know how to behave? It's the way we groom our children. You teach them, okay, we're going outside now. Before we leave the house, we're going to go potty. What are you teaching them? Handle your business before you get outside. Why? Because you may not have the opportunity on the outside to do what needs to be done before you leave the house. But if you don't make that a habit, if you don't lay that down, chaos is created. Because now you got to find somewhere. Now you got to figure it out. Boy Scouts have it down. Be prepared. This is why we breathe through the situation. You see, the law gives us that confidence. Because when you stop, right, and you breathe and you look and you say, what law is at play right now? And even if you say, I don't know what law is at play right now, where are you? Now you can deal with polarity. Now you can look and say, oh, snap, I see what I'm doing. How am I going to behave with this? Because remember, you can't get through to the screaming child. Oh, heavens, no. They can't hear a thing you're saying. This is what panic and anxiety will do to the body. You can't get through to it. Because it's in its own fight or flight now. It has taken over. So how do you get it to calm itself? You breathe. You inhale through the nose and you exhale through the nose. However many times it takes for you to calm your body, and you'll begin to hear that still small voice. These are the things, the practical things that we do. The practical things. Because we must be doing something. You've got to go in the direction that you say you want to go in. Well, if you say you want to be calm in every situation, well, then you have to practice being calm. You can't just say, I want to be calm in every situation and never tell your body what calm looks and feels like. So it has something to do. Or else it will go back to what it knows. This is why we take that time and remember to breathe. It's not something flowery that we say. It isn't. It is something that must be done. Something that must be done. Well, situations do tend to be timely. But this is the beauty. Yes? This is the beauty of the law. If you practice, what are you practicing? Do you know all 7 principles? Do you know them all? That's usually the best place. Because in order to see them, you have to know them. Or else, how will you know what you're looking at? And when you know them and you see them, you can apply them. Because now you know, this is what I'm doing. And you can apply. This is the reason why we do what we do on a daily basis, so that we're not caught with our unawares. You're not caught unaware. You're always prepared. What are you prepared for? To use the law. That's what you're prepared to do. Use the law. Not the situation. You're prepared always to use the law. Do you hear that? You're not prepared for a bad situation or a good situation. Situations are irrelevant. You, however, are prepared to use the law at every turn, good, bad, or indifferent. You see, the beauty of what we have, the more we remember it, the more we will use it. And the more confident you'll become, you'll catch yourself saying, oh my God, I just used the law. That's what you'll say to yourself, and you'll do a dance. And then you'll remember what? You see, because you did that dance, that was an emotional situation. Now the impression upon your subconscious mind is very quick. And what is it quick to do? To remember that, oh yeah, we can use the law. Now you become bold and confident to do it. That is why the experience that comes with practice is such a priceless thing. You can't put a price on it at all. Let's take a moment now to welcome everyone to the space. Who remembered to record Twitter this morning? Oh, snap. I did. Who's here? Jeff. Hey, hey. Chad. Oh, Indy, darling. Meep, I see you. I love you. Thank you for being here this morning. Fanbase. Who's here? My Melanin. Summer Rose. Miss McQueen. Jamea. Matthias. Zola. Yolanda. You are here. It is so good to see you all. YouTube. Let's see who's here. Cynthia. Well, hello, my beautiful darling. Sonia, I missed you too. Synovia. Empress Ella. Anot. Ruby. Slide into my DMs, Ruby, and fill me in. The better man. I see you. David, hello. And I did not see Emanon yet. I was just about to say where's Ty's Tidbits, and there he is. I see you all. Ah, Ty's Tidbits. I like that name too, beautiful creators. Now we have two in contention, beautiful creators and the light bringers. Oh, choose which one you like better. Anywho, I'm glad that you're all here, and I appreciate your patience every day. We come and we learn. Why do we learn? So that we have elevated ourselves a little higher than we were yesterday. Elevate ourselves with more confidence, with more boldness, with more clarity. That's what we're doing on a daily basis. That is exactly what we're doing on a daily basis. Emanon. Where's Brian? But you see, take a moment and remember to breathe. It doesn't matter what the situation is. Listen, your back could be against the wall. As long as your back is against the wall, you've got protection, isn't it? It's not exposed. It's something firm at your back. Now you can look to see what am I going to do? Hmm? The back is the most vulnerable part of you, you know. And if it is against the wall, it is no longer vulnerable. Well, why not? Angela, you're telling me if my back is against the wall, I'm not. You got that right. Think about it. We say, well, I'm alone. I don't have anybody to protect me. Hey, if your back is up against the wall, it is protected. Now you can see your way forward. Now you can say, which direction should I go in? That's what it means. That's what it means. Listen, we are always protected. How do you know you're always protected? Because the law tells you that you are. If you walk around feeling a victim, living out your victimhood, then you've cast away your protection. What? Why? Because it is you. You are who you say you are. If you are protected and well cared for, as within, so without, is what the law says. So if you say, you know what? I am protected. You walk around with the confidence. Now remember, the law does not give space for you to act a fool. As within, so without. You look for it, you become it, you get it. But when you say, you know what, I am protected. Well, how are you protected? Because you make wise choices. You don't put yourself in precarious situations. You trust your intuition because you feel and you sense your intuition. So therefore, as within you, so must you experience on the outside. You don't walk around with fear like a rock in your stomach. Thus, because you have nothing to fear. So if you have nothing to fear, you don't encounter things to fear. You are always protected. Not because I say so, but because the law reminds us of it every single day. Every single day, you are reminded that you are well looked after. In spite of people who, really, are you sure? Oh, we hear that all the time, don't we? Yeah. Well, you didn't experience what I did. As I will tell you every day, we judge according to our own perceptions. What? Whatever I believe within me is how I will judge you. That's why we say what we say. So today, remember this. Take your time. Take your time and remember that it is you. And when you hear that, well, it's on you, that does not mean you got a problem. It means you are free. That's what it means. I tell people, you might you might be afraid of change only because you think the change is coming from outside of yourself. You see, causation tells us when you know the cause, you can predict the effect. So if you say, you know, I'm not a fan of that habit I've got, I want to change it. And I want to change it to this new one. Why would you fear? Do you not know how it's going to turn out? Of course you know how it's going to turn out because you said, I'm going from to. And because you said you're going from to, you know exactly what's going to happen. So why would you be afraid? You don't have a reason to be afraid. All through the scripture, what do we hear? Fear not. So, what does it mean to not be afraid? It means to be brave. Be confident in what you see. This is what we do on a daily basis. But sometimes we forget. So here's your gentle reminder: breathe. Because if you pay attention to yourself, right, you'll find that there are certain situations that cause you to hold your breath. Just watch yourself and see. You'll discover it all on your own. There are situations that cause you're in the thick of it, and you have got your shoulders under your ears, and you're not breathing. And if you notice, those are the times that panic is highest. It's highest because there's no oxygen getting to the brain. So the body says, oh, we're trying to live here. Hello. Fight or flight. You see, as within the mind, the body responds. As within, so without. This is correspondence. Don't think we can escape that. Don't think, oh, I'm in the thick of things. Nothing's going to change. No, no, no. Stop. And you breathe. And you will always see your way forward. Remember, the body responds. So if you're holding on to the panic, the body responds because you have to be in accordance, you have to be in correspondence to the mental environment. The physical environment cannot exist without the mental to sustain it. Well, how do you know? Because the all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. So if the creation on the outside seems distorted, go back to the thought, because the thought has been corrupted. Simple as that. Oh, sure, it's simple, Angela. Of course it is. As I tell you, the law it's not there to complicate things. It is there to simplify and order things. So if you always know what the root of the problem is, your thoughts, the root of the problem is the thought. Not what's on the outside. The outside only corresponds to what is on the inside. So if you don't know what to think, and if you don't know what you're thinking, look at the experience on the outside. Look at it. What's happening? Because the seed, right? The seed of the solution is in the problem. So if you see the effect going on, you have the solution. Oh, how so? Because they do not travel separately. You cannot have a problem without a solution. Causation tells us every cause has an effect, and every effect its cause. Nancy, every cause has its effect, and every effect its cause. You cannot have an effect without the cause, and the effect, what? Is in the cause. So if you're having a problem and you don't know how to fix it, look at the problem. Name the problem. It is essential to name it. Why would you name it? Because if you name it, you can fix it. Well, why? If you say the problem is ... whatever the problem is, clearly the solution presents itself. As soon as you name the problem, the solution is there. And now that you see the solution, you turn your face to the solution and you begin to do the action steps that the solution dictates. This is the law of polarity as well. You see where you are clearly, and you say, oh, snap, I don't want to be there. That's the problem. The solution is what? I want to be there. So where is there? And so then that's step 1 and 2. Step 3 is, what's the first action I can take to get there, where I say I want to be? And you do that one action. And the next action presents itself. And then the next presents itself. And you get up and you do those actions every single day. Why? Because that is taking you in the direction you want to go in. But if you do not remember to breathe, the problem will overwhelm you because it just looks like a problem. Instead, if you're clear of mind and you're breathing, you can look at the problem and go, oh, snap, I see the solution. See it? I trust this makes sense to you today because too many times we get caught up. Too many times we get caught up in looking at problems. You don't look at the problem because there's nothing else to look at. When you gaze at the problem, the solution is right there. That's what you're looking for. And this is what the law reminds us of. So when you encounter a problem, what are you going to do? Invoke causation. Well, how do you invoke causation? You look at the problem and you say, well, the problem is the effect. And every effect has its cause. The cause is the solution. All right. Let me see the cause. Because now you're looking at it. You know those optical illusions that they used to have? Where it was just you had to stare at this thing the whole time, and then your eyes would change just enough, and this image that was hidden in it would just pop right out. Problem, solution. Seems like you can't see, but if you look for the solution, it stands out. It stands out, and then you see exactly what steps you take. You see them clearly. I don't know what to do. Breathe first. That is always where we start. You calm the body so you can hear what's going on in the mind. Because that body is just like a screaming child rolling around on the floor in the grocery store. And we've seen them all at one point, haven't we? And we feel so bad for that mother. We say, Lord, don't let her shake that child. We feel embarrassed for them. But if you soothe the child, not punish, soothe. Soothe. What soothes the best? The breathing soothes the body the best. Once you soothe it, now you can tell it what to do. Now you can see clearly. Now you can see clearly. So I trust today. I trust today that these things make sense. Don't you feel overwhelmed. Remember what you are looking at. Remember that when you are in the thick of things and your back is against the wall, that's the safest place. You know what's behind you. You know what is behind you. You have nothing to fear. You know what's back there, the wall. Hard and solid. You can use that wall to propel yourself forward, to gain a boost of momentum. Oh, indeed, you can. I want you to think about that for a moment. If you stand up, you know how you're leaning against the wall and you got your foot bent and it's on the wall? The sole of your foot's on the wall and your back is against the wall, and you're looking at every situation. You're looking out left and right and forward. What happens when you're ready to move? You push yourself off that wall. That is what you do. So you see, take your time. But you can't see the wall as being something true and safe at your back if you're panicked. I tell you every day, recall the law and apply it. Recall the law and apply it. The law is looking at you every day in your face as you go about this world. As sure as night follows day. Rhythm is the cause. Night and day are the effects. But then you see rhythm, you see causation, and all you do is use the law of correspondence, as above, so below. You bring it to you. You remind yourself of, ah, I see. I rest at night. I'm active during the day. Begin to align yourself with those simple things. Because when you do, tell you what, when your body begins to feel, whew, oh, it's time for bed. You know, if you have a set bedtime, half an hour before that bedtime, your body begins to relax because it knows you've taught it the rhythm. And you know what happens to you when you follow that rhythm of your bedtime night and day? Somebody will say, girl, I got these tickets. And you're like, that's nice. It's tempting, but I'll pass. You set a boundary. What is that boundary for? That boundary is to respect your time of rest so that you are rejuvenated. This is what it does. You see, something as simple as going to bed in the dark and waking up with the sunrise, something as simple as that will bring order into your life. You follow order, you become it. Why is that? It works for chaos too, don't worry. Why is that? Because the body follows. So who's telling it what to do? It better be you. It has to be you. That's why it is essential you stop and you breathe so that one is not overwhelmed by their situations. And that is what I will tell you this morning. That's all I'll tell you today. Simply because we have to practice. You have nothing. When I say to you that you have nothing to be afraid of, but what if I get it wrong? You cannot. Because every cause has an effect. So the thing that you do, if you don't like the effect, then don't do that thing again. Do another thing based upon what? The effect you would like to experience. So you cannot get it wrong. You won't ever get it wrong. Causation is telling you that you are always right. So how do you know how to choose which cause? What effect would you like? Then the cause presents itself. Do that. And you know the cause is always the thought. Listen, be emboldened this morning to know that you're always right. You get into an argument. My boy says, Mom, you're always right. I'm like, according to law, yes, even though I could be wrong in this situation, but I'm always right. By way of law, I am always right. It's just a matter of, is that the desired effect I was going for? You are always right. You cannot get it wrong. I promise you. Not because I say so, but because I know what the law tells me. Causation. You are always right. That's my new t-shirt. I am always right. It is law. I'm always right. Causation. So if you feel, oh no, what must I do? What would you like to experience? Then that is what you do. I can just hear it now, but Angela, you make it sound so easy. Well, I don't make it sound easy. The law is telling you that it is easy. How would you like it to go outside and say, well, I'm going to plant tulips, and you end up with carnations? What now? You know that if you put those tulip bulbs in the ground, so long as the squirrel doesn't come along and eat them, you're going to have tulips. Period. It is predictable. You see, knowing that, when you know it, you see how your chest just opened and you can breathe a little easier? To know that you're always right because it is law? I don't know about y'all, but I know that's what it just did for me. This is your word today. Know the law. Know it. Don't believe me. Know it. Know it. You can predict exactly what's going to happen. You sure can. Act a fool. What do they call it? I'll stick around and find out. That's what they call it, cause and effect. Remember to breathe today. Remember to breathe. I tell you something. The law is the most beautiful thing you will ever encounter. Right here in this 3D form that we live in. Because that's what our senses are designed for. This right here, right now. But whatever other place, other dimension we will experience, because you have the law, you can go anywhere. You can do anything with the law. That knowledge of the law. This, hear it. This is why it is essential to have the forgetting of the law. Because when someone forgets the law, chaos ensues. And from that chaos, we begin to feel like, what's the point of existing? Life has no purpose. But think about how free you are knowing the law. Look at it. Understand what it does for you. And it doesn't do it because, well, George is better. No, it does it for all. Because that scripture tells us all have sinned and fallen short of the glory. That's what the scripture tells us. But you see, the law is the great equalizer. The law is the greatest equalizer there is. Whether you are good, bad, or indifferent, the law is. It is now up to you, however, to use that law wisely. Because the law doesn't just benefit you. Fancy that. It benefits everybody you come into contact with. Do you feel me today? Or rather, do you feel the law? Because it has a most potent effect upon you. That's what... Open up the blind in your room. I'm in the closet, I can't do that right now. But open the blind in your room and let the sun shine in. And know that today is the day you are finally free. Why are you free? Because whom the sun sets free is free indeed. That's what the scripture means. Who is the sun? The sun is the effect of the law. But we gave the effect the name Jesus. The sun is the effect of the law, thereby cause and effect. You are free. You are free mentally. Why? So long as you are free mentally, you are free everywhere. Because the universe is a mental creation. If you are enslaved in your mind, you're enslaved everywhere. This is why it is essential you guard your mind. You do not allow things and people to come along and poison it. It is the only natural spring, the purest and the sweetest of waters that quench the thirst of your soul. That's what your mind is. And you must use it. You must drink from that well every single day. What's your cup? The law. You dip it and you sip. Nothing will quench you But that, well, how can I be so sure? It doesn't matter what situation you have. Go back to the mental. Go back to the mental. Because what you are experiencing is a mental creation. Why don't you test it for yourself then? Test it for yourself. Think of someone or something and see if you don't encounter it. And when you do, slide into my DMs and we'll share it. That is one of the biggest mental exercises you can do. Think of something. Hold that image there. That image is accompanied by a sensation in your body because they must correspond. And each of us, we have all had the experience of thinking of someone and then, girl, I was just thinking about you. We have all experienced that. You think it is coincidence? There are no coincidences. There are no coincidences. Think of it, and it happens. That's what I'm telling you today. And we will only know how to do that when we stop and we breathe. Because breathing connects you back. It puts you right back. Walter. So light bringers. So creators. Use the law for the love of God in all things. You must use it to free yourself. Remember that. What are you going to remember today? Breathe, and I'm always right. It is law that I'm always right. And what is your evidence that you are always right? Causation. Every cause has its effect, and every effect its cause. So be bold to know that you're always right. I bet you're going to be walking around saying that today. I'm always right. Yes, you are. Look at how that makes you feel to know that you are always right. You are. You chose that cause, thereby the effect had to match. So you're right. Henry Ford told us that, didn't he? Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. That's what he said, but that's law. That is law. Anyhow, my most beautiful friends, countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3. Tonight at what time Eastern Standard? 9:45 Eastern Standard Time. We have the Feel It. We have the Feel It workshop. Well, it's not really a workshop. You just come in there and we practice feeling the sensation in our bodies. Why is that important? Because when you feel the sensation in your body, it means you had a particular thought. You want to change your life? Then practice holding the thought and the sensation in your body. That's what we're doing tonight at 7:45 my time, 9:45 Eastern Standard Time, y'all's time. Right? I'm going to make the post for that shortly so that you can click on it and have it notify you when it starts. And the bowl, we're going to hit the bowl, yes. Because we love the way the bowl makes us feel, right? It's vibration. 2, 1. Jeff, Chad, Indy, Meep. Thank you so very much for spending time with me this morning and learning the law. Go forth and use it. You know why? Because when you use it, you can say, I know I am always right. Not that you heard you're always right, but that you know. And when you know a thing, oh Lord, you live it. Right, Twitter? I love you all. I'll see you soon. Twitter is closed. Fanbase, that's what we're going to do today. We'll go forth and practice. Practice. Nancy, my beautiful darling, you are most certainly welcome. So, fanbase, I love you all. I'm going to see y'all soon. Okay? But watch for that post because I'll I'm making it a habit now that if I'm going to go live on YouTube, I'm going to go live on Fanbase. That is my new rule for myself, my new habit that I'm forming. So I'll see you tonight, 9:45. If you want, I don't. Yolanda, you gotta help me out. um, is there a way to mention people, I guess, or to tag them to come into the live? Um,
No, that's not a thing.
it's not a thing. I guess I'm gonna have to DM Isaac. Suggestion, right? It seems to work, right? I'll do
Yeah, you
that.
could definitely do the suggestion.
Yeah, I'll do a
Something
suggestion.
that somebody was talking about yesterday is like you could do like a group chat if you wanted to. Like, that's the thing now. And you could just let people know that you're going live right now. So, like, that's an option.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, I like that. That's actually pretty dope.
So open the room first and tell everybody you're going live.
Yeah, so go live and then just make a group chat with all the people that you want and just say, hey, I'm live if you guys want to come check me out right now.
Done. I'll
Yeah,
remember.
it's like sending them a personal message, and that way, like, even though we get notifications from fan base all the time that other people we follow are like in a different room at that moment, we'll get your personal message so it stands out, and it's like, oh, I don't have to go through all of those notifications of everyone else. I have a personal message. So yeah.
Oh, well, thank you all. I will apply this. Thank you. Alrighty, fan base. Y'all know where to find me at the very end. You know, the last bit of gravy in the bowl. We're on YouTube, right? I love you. I'ma check y'all later. Summer Rose. Peace out, everybody. Fanbase is closed. Let me turn down my volume on my iPad, YouTube, and I'm gonna pop into that chat and see ya alls. There you go. Ah, Yolanda. There you go. I see you. Nancy, Ruby, Walter, Beauty Queen Onika, Sinovia, Not. Long live Emanon. Ties, Tidbits, Cynthia, Empress, Ella, the better man, David. David, thank you for Cain and Abel last night. It was fired up. What? Oh, whew. It was a good time. If you don't know what we're talking about, we had Bible. Uh, it's not Bible study. It's a Bible story by way of what the law is, because the law is in every holy book, and because I've grown up with the Bible, that's just what we use, right? So David chose the Bible story, Cain and Abel, and it was lit. Let me tell you, let me listen. I learned so much, and I had so much fun, and so that's why this morning I just really truly want to remind you. See, you guys think that I'm teaching you. The law is teaching me every day. I just share with y'all what it is. See, I just share with you what it is. It is the most beautiful thing to know that I'm always right. I'm always right. It is law. Every time I say it, it does something to me when I say it to myself. I'm always right. I'm always right. So remember that today. As I tell you, it is irrelevant the situation. Irrelevant. The situation doesn't matter. There's one constant, the law. So if you use the law, you become constant. Hmm? Well, It makes sense, doesn't it? You do the constant thing, which makes you constant or consistent. The law is always consistent, it never changes. It never changes. It is always consistent. You just got to use it. You just got to use it, right? And you can't, and here's the thing, don't be afraid to use it. Why would you be afraid if you're always right? But you see, you might not know that you're always right. And this is why we have to do what? Test it. And you notice you're not testing the law, right? You're testing you. You are the one doing the experiment based upon the control. What's the control? The law is the control. And you know that, well, okay, if I do this, well, this will happen. Huh? That's the encouragement today. It is irrelevant, the situation. You are the constant. Situations come and they go, but they come and go because they come and go because of what you consistently do. See, you're always consistent. That's part of like when we're learning how to um, feel the pulse in traditional Chinese medicine, because the pulse, you don't just, it's not just there because you're alive. It tells you something. It is the aura of a person, because the pulse has a specific signature depending on that person. And sometimes it'll be irregular, but in its irregularity, it's regular. It will have the same irregular pattern every time. And so that's why something can be irregularly regular, but it still needs to be brought into order, right? I don't know why I told you that, but I just did. It made sense in my head, so I said it. Those, because we are always, whether we think, oh, I don't know, maybe I should try, I don't know. We're always consistent. We are always consistent. You're either always consistently doing this or you are consistently doing that. But you are consistent nonetheless. You are consistent already. You are. So today, as we go forth into the world, know that you are always right. And because you're always right, it is a success. So you see, good, bad, or indifferent, you are always, I am always successful. Choose the effect you would like to be successful at, because your success is inevitable. It's inevitable. That's not my words. It is law. I'm gonna start. Listen, I'm gonna start selling a hoodie. It is law. I'm gonna do it. Watch for that, because you must be reminded. It is law. It is law. It is. The more you remember that, the better your life will be. Well, why is that? Why? It brings you peace, you know, to know that you don't have to fret and worry. I just wanted to scratch the record, right? You don't have to fret and worry, because if you fret and worry, you're going to get to fret and worry, because you're always right. So, what do you want to be right in? Yes? That's all there is. So, I love you. I'm going to do that post right now so that we can be here tonight at 9:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time For what? Feelings, nothing more than feelings. We're going to feel. We're going to feel our thoughts. Oh, that's what we're going to feel. Our thoughts. Think about that the next time you feel something in your body. That tells you exactly what you're thinking. As within, so without. Correspondence. You're going to feel your thought tonight. And when you feel your thought, the next thing to do is to sustain it. Which means, you ever played piano? You put your foot on the pedal to sustain. What does it mean to sustain? To hold it. I don't know if I know the next lines, Melissa. I don't know if I know the next lines. I don't always know the whole song. But I wanted to break out into just a good vibration. I wanted to do that because it is a good vibration when you begin to feel your thought. You heard it here first. Feel your thoughts. When Neville Goddard says, catch the mood, what do you think he's telling you? That thought in your head, feel it in your body. Feel it in your body because it is natural. It is law for you to feel it in your body. You have a body, and your body has been designed by way of law. So you feel it. You feel your thought. That is exactly what you're doing. I'm going to do. Emanon, I feel you. Well, you know what? It'll be in my link tree when I've got it ready. It'll be in my link tree because I got one of those now. Yes. Who's organized? Who's becoming more ordered? I am becoming more ordered, and that means so are you. Well, that's the inevitable conclusion, isn't it? As within, so without. If you don't know how to order yourself, start with the one thing we know. Night and day, you are the one. Start there. Wake up. Not like you don't have a little bit of control, you do. Just a little. You get to wake up. You get to go to bed. Just live like that. Live with that attitude. I get to wake up. Yeah, it is law. And that's how you begin to order yourself. Night and day. Go to bed at a particular bedtime. Wake up at a particular arising time. Don't tell me, oh, what if we. Is that what I said? No. As within, so without. It is inevitable that the ebb of life happens. But while we in the flow, live, please. Live, please. You understand. Anyway, that's what I wanted to tell you on such a lovely day. Hmm? That's what I wanted to tell you. You're always right because it is law. It is law. Oh, David. David, I love you. Well, if you have another one you want to hear, David, tell me, and I'll send it to Lance so he can get it up and ready, and then I can be able to share it with other people before next Monday. I tend to, you know, yeah, David. But does that make sense to everybody today? If you understood something today, drop a 1 in the chat. If you needed more clarification, drop a 2 in the chat. And tell me what you need more clarification with. But that's what I really wanted you to know today is that you're always right. Take that moment to breathe and you'll see it for yourself. Not. Not, you are a most reliable friend. I just thought I'd tell you that. You're reliable. There. Yes, Amanon. Yeah, the link tree is in my description. So once I add things to it all the time, right? I streamline myself. But that's what I'm just gonna tell you today. Go forth today and no, please, no. I got my bowl. Let me hit it. Let me hit it. Normally I reserve the bowl for normally I reserve the bowl for super chats, new members, those kinds of fun things. All right? But today I'm gonna hit that bowl so that we have a moment to center and solidify what we know for the law. Working with what I have. I'm gonna well, yes, a not. Ah, yes. I see you, Cynthia, darling. They're gonna hit that. Remember, if you deal with epilepsy, you might want to take your headphones off because I'm about to hit a tone, right? Take a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the nose. Nice and easy like that. And let us hit the bowl. Go forth, my beautiful friends, and enjoy the beauty of the day that you create. It is already beautiful, and you will now add your beauty to it. I love you all, and I'll see you tonight, 9:45. I'll make the thingy-majiggy so that you have a reference to notify yourselves. And I look forward to seeing you there tonight. Sorry, I'm reading the chat. Ms. M. Ms. M, I see you. Melissa, I see you too. You are most welcome, Melissa, darling. But that is what I shall leave you with today. I love you all, and I trust that you know that. And I'll see you soon. Look at that. I just dropped a bowl in the chat. That's what I did. All right, y'all. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Much love.